Good. Okay. They take this with the requisite seriousness is then, and countless numbers of young men and women have done so with great honor and great sacrifice over the 248 years of our history as a nation. The freedoms, rights, and responsibilities encompassed in the Constitution of the United States of America have been threatened in the past by enemies, foreign and domestic. Our airmen have defended it with their lives. It is because of them that the hopes and dreams set down on paper in the Constitution have had the time and the security to continue to enliven the hopes and dreams of this great country. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please stand while the oath is administered.
Repeat after me. I state your full name.
Coraina Pollard Calliste,
Having been appointed a captain of the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a captain in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I would support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, both foreign and domestic,
that I will bear all truth, faith, and allegiance to the same,
with all truth,
okay,
faith,
allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely.
without mental reservations or purpose of evasion.
Stevens. You please,
Without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
above
Upon which I'm about to enter.
which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I think we're good. Okay, everybody can sit down, please. So good afternoon. My name is Corey Price. I'm the executive director, and first and foremost, thank you for the absolute honor to be able to swear you in. That's a big deal. For those that don't know, to be selected to swear somebody in on such an important occasion means something. And hopefully, I live up to that for you. Having most of us as government employees, for those that are government employees in the room, we all swear an oath to the Constitution as well, just like the president did last week. The unique thing about the military, right, is in that oath, you're attesting that you will defend the Constitution. That means you could deploy and literally defend the Constitution. So that's different. It's different than what we do as VA employees. Our mission is different. So it really does mean something, and it's very important. I have had the honor to be sworn in as a second lieutenant in the military in the Army. We won't talk about which branch is better. But and also you get sworn in for each rank. So this won't be the last time you get sworn in. And so congratulations to Coraina. I will say I have never met anybody in my entire professional and personal life like Coraina. And I see a lot of head nods because anybody that has spent time with her knows that exact same thing. I was lucky to restart our GMAT program shortly after we, and I'm not going by your prepared remarks. I know that's probably bothering you. After I got here, we, as the executive director, we restarted the GMAT program, the Graduate Health Administrative Trainee Program, and that had not happened for a few years. And you never know when you do those announcements what kind of candidates you're going to get, what kind of background they're going to get. And when I remember, and I don't remember a whole lot of things, Julia can attest to this. She's my right hand. I remember specifically reading her resume and saying, wow, this is a really good one. I can't wait to interview and see how she does, because you can tell that this person on paper had accomplished so many things in a short period of time that they were very driven and they were already very accomplished. And she's continued that, like just in the year that she was in that program, which is an intense program. The GHAP is not a program to slight. And I know there's some people that were GHAPs in here as well. In addition to that program, she was going through school. She was weight training to do competitions. And every time I talked to her, she was doing something else. And I thought, how is this even possible? Most people, it's like, I have enough on my plate. And then we had an opportunity come up within the social work service. And that kind of happens in the GHAP about halfway through a year. We hope to find a vacancy. So as they've done their rotations, done some training, then we actually put them into an administrative role to finish their growth before permanent placement. And normally that's at like a GS9 level. We put them in a smaller service, but not in a service like social work, which is huge, with a lot of different programs, a lot of different funding streams, different appointment authorities. It's a lot of work. And I was just like, I have no doubt that she can do this job as a trainee, and being brand new to the VA and having no frame of reference to how VA does things. And I remember talking to Carrie, and Carrie's like, sure, let's try her out. Let's do it. And I can just say, you're an amazing person. You are so driven, and that is impressive and something that we all can share. And to also then within her GHAP year become a fellow in the American College of Healthcare Executives, that's something that you reach at the apex of your healthcare career. I know I did. It took me a long time to get that credential, and I know same thing for Julia. Zach back there, I'm going to call him out. He's still working on it, and we're going to help him. Yeah, for a few years. But to be able to do that so quickly and so soon is just, I just hope I'm able to convey how impressive that is. And so now she's completed her doctorate, which is amazing. That's extremely hard. An executive program from Harvard. So I'm in awe of you, and I'm just curious what you will become. Because we know that your journey is there's no doubt that you are destined for great things, and that it's up to you what those are. Some people may work hard and never achieve their goals, but for you, I would absolutely say she's going to achieve whatever she wants to achieve. It's just a matter of what she sets her mind to. So I know also, I will share how big of a deal it is for you to go back into the service as a captain. For those that have been in the service, it's a big deal to get a promotion. You're looked at a different way, you're treated a different way. And then to go from enlisted to an officer and then go straight in as an 03 captain, it's impressive. So kudos to you. And I hope I'll get off the mic, but I hope you appreciate the remarks, and I from deep down, congratulations, very proud of you.
I did prepare remarks, and you basically stole my speech. So that must mean I learned well from you. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, mentors and colleagues of Coraina Pollard Calliste. I'm Carrie Boyd, the Chief of Social Work Service and Coraina's direct boss. Also very close friend, big sister, little sister. Thank you very much for this relationship. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you all for being here, and I'm also very emotional, just FYI. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you for being here and sharing the experience of this very special occasion. I have the incredible pleasure and honor to say a few words about our honored guests, and I'm truly humbled that Coraina asked me. Being a wife of a soldier and now a mom of a sailor, I understand the importance of promotions and being surrounded by family and friends to celebrate such accomplishments. Seeing the hard work, time, and dedication of your loved one pay off. I was blessed to witness a few of my husband's accomplishments along his military career, my son's, and I'm proud to have a front row seat to witnessing Coraina's hard work along her military journey as well. I had never been a part or witness to an enlistee transitioning to an officer position, so I did a little research to understand the difference in what work it takes to reach this accomplishment. And I thought I'd share a little of what I learned with everyone here today. Enlisted personnel have specialties within the military. They perform specific job functions and have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to ensure the success of their unit's mission. Officers manage those enlisted personnel. They plan missions, they provide orders, and they assign tasks. In the Air Force, the transition from enlistee to officer are many steps you need to take. I was amazed. Like all government entities, where it seems it would be as simple as, here is my diploma, make me an officer, there is much red tape, permissions, concurrences, and possibly giving up your firstborn in order to accomplish what seems to be the impossible when you are going through it. Coraina does not have a firstborn, so she chose the hard way. Enlisted Air Force Reserve members seeking appointment as commissioned reserve officers must obtain written recommendation from their immediate supervisor, be tentatively selected, and endorsed by the commander in order to secure an AFR officer position. The servicing personnel section, MPS, they have acronyms too, will identify the documents required during the non-EAD Airman commissioning checklist, more checklists, and provide assistance with processing the application package. Once completed, the commissioning application will then be forwarded for unit, wing, and NAF commander or equivalent endorsement. Once the NAF commander endorsement is obtained, the commissioning package is then routed to the Air Reserve Personnel Center to verify that all the commissioning requirements are met, and to process a training line number for officer training school. Did you catch any of all that? There are at least 7 lines of approvals needed, and imagine how many times the application was sent back down the chain of command. The chain of command changed, so it was sent back down even further. During this time, do you think Coraina was just sitting around and waiting while her application was going up and down the chain of command? No, and as Mr. Price has shown, she went on to get her master's degree. She became a GMAT fellow at the VA. She became a fellow ACHE, and most recently has been attending several Harvard trainings on healthcare and executive leadership. And did I mention she also accepted a full-time job as the social work service administrative officer during all of this? And that's not all. Coraina's drive is stronger than a John Deere tractor. In addition to all of the above, she continues to train as a competitive bodybuilder, and she obtained her doctorate degree this past year, which I didn't know about until she actually obtained it. All of this, she still attended drill monthly, serving her country in the reserves. And because I know, because we talk all the time, she's in Port St. Lucie on the weekends with her mom. I don't know where she gets the time. I honestly do not, but I would like to know the secret sauce you have, friend. For those of you who know me, you know for those of you who know me, know I like to know what I'm getting. In other words, as my husband and probably my staff would say, I'm a control freak. I can usually read the room, and as a Capricorn, we have an innate ability to have good discernment of people. When I first met Coraina, she was eager to learn, had a smile on her face, and attempted to be funny. I called it more like corny, but she was reserved and quiet. Coraina is a woman of few words. I am a woman of many. So that worked out well. I am guessing Mr. Price knew that we would balance each other out. She may be a woman of few words, but she is not afraid to speak up when she needs to. 99% of the time, what she has to say is of value. The 1% is when she likes cookie crumble and I don't. So she'll tell me, and I don't, or tells me I shouldn't send an email that I so badly want to send. She is the sound mind to my menopausal brain fog. She seriously has the memory of an elephant, and I have been more than thankful on numerous occasions for that. As I am a perfectionist and do not like to have our service on any naughty list, she keeps us on top. Coraina often tells me that she learned so much from me, but it is really I who have learned much from her. I've learned to be patient, just as she has when I'm telling her an idea and story that I end up going 5 side stories sideways to my story or idea, and all of you ladies know what I'm talking about. I have learned that less is more. Every time I want to add something, she is looking at things that we can lean down, so that Sigma belt training, which she also has, is coming in handy. She has taught me that if you have humor in work, it makes the day go so much faster. For instance, she likes to remind me of my aging maternal side effects by spraying herself with a water bottle while we are meeting for supervision. I often tell her to be careful making fun of her elders. She's going to be of advanced maternal age one day herself. I ended it with she's no spring chicken. We had to have a lesson on what that meant, which led to pranks within the office and on Teams, like the beautiful pictures she takes and sends me when my face freezes on Teams. I was going to bring those today and share your frozen, but Jana talked me out of it. She said today wasn't the day. Coraina is always eager to learn something new. If none of us know the answer, she will go find it and bring it back to us. When we first started working together, I told her, I'm not a teacher. I have a wealth of knowledge from being in the VA, but I am not very good at sharing that information. But I'm not a good teacher. So if you have questions, I'm happy to share the information. Just ask me. Well, she has taken me up on that and has demonstrated for me how to effectively share my information I have with our staff and in meaningful ways. Coraina, today I ask you to do something that you're not used to doing. I ask you to pause, take a deep breath, and take it in. I know you hate when I brag on you, but you are so deserving of this and more. Be proud of all that you have accomplished. You are an amazing woman, a loving and supportive daughter, an inspiring and upcoming leader, and a beautiful friend. I am so very proud of you and all that you have accomplished in the short time, and I have known for the short time that I've known you, and look forward to seeing where the future takes you. Congratulations, Captain.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chief One Officer Freddie Lofton of the United States Army, retired. Yes.
That's a long response, Kate.
Well, I had a speech presentation for you guys, but unfortunately, when I left the house, I left it on the table. So I'm gonna summarize most of what I've written down. For me, it was a pleasure of meeting Coraina when she was a teenager. All right, you know, those teenage years when you decide what should I do in life? What choices should I make to go further on? Right, and one of the things she wanted to do was join the military. So we sat down, we talked. I gave her a little guidance. We talked about where she can get the best opportunities for the things she wanted to do in the military, and she decided on going into the Air Force. Right? Great choice. Her first choice. Glad we didn't make that. Okay. So the Air Force was her selection, and I think shortly after that, wasn't too long after she decided, yeah, the Air Force is for me. That I think 2 or 3 months later, she actually got an assignment and went off to what was it, San Antonio, Texas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was off and on her way in the hands of our nation's military. Now, I've known her since she was a teenager. A lot of you guys have already talked about her accolades or what she achieved during that time, so I'm not going to take up that space. I'm floored. I'll be honest with you. I knew you were doing great things, but wow. So yeah, so I get a chance to watch her as she grew. Teenage daughter. From a teenage daughter to a woman of great character, persistence, professionalism, All right, I've watched that drive over the years. I think she spent a little over a decade of enlisted time on active duty. And she accomplished so much during that time. And you guys have already spoken on a lot of that. All right. But the fact that she had that drive and she wouldn't let, she was trying to apply to become a commissioned officer. And she kept running into roadblocks, roadblock after roadblock, but she had that youthful drive and optimism. She kept going and she made it through. She knocked down that brick wall. Okay. I was so proud. I mean, as if she were my own daughter. I was so proud to see her make it. All right. So what I feel for you is that of a stepfather and daughter. So I stand in your father's position here to say to you that I, your mother, your brothers, sisters, cousin, aunts, niece, nephews, grandmother, we are extremely proud of what you have accomplished. We are extremely proud of you, period. And being a captain, a direct appointment as a captain in U.S. Air Force is an amazing feat to conquer. And we want to wish you all the best. Right? All the best. Now, one of the things that we do say as a village, her loved ones, we look back at her career and the village can look back and say, we done good. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Indeed it is. And thank you all for being here to share this with us. I have a small note. So, "32 years ago, I was blessed with the task of being a single parent of an only child. And most of us know they don't come with written scripts. Fall and you get up. I navigated through some turbulent times, however, I moved forward knowing that the decisions I make would impact somebody else's life. This is not good. I am truly honored and grateful for all that I've been able to persevere through. I want to thank my village for their support. Without them, this journey would have been almost impossible. I would also like to thank Mr. Price and Kerry for seeing what I saw and for the ability to judge a good character in giving Coraina the opportunity to continue to see her fullest potential. I want to thank my daughter for being my rock and my greatest achievement. With a host of letters behind her name, you would always be my baby.
What's the name of that again?
Congratulations.
I hope you forget that, Carrie. I would. So, of course, thank you, Mr. Price, for your willingness to preside over my ceremony today. Carrie, Mom, Mr. Fred, for coming here to say such lovely words about me. George for narrating. Colin, Andrea, and everyone else who has helped me to make this possible today. As much as this is all about me, sometimes I too am amazed by my own accomplishments. But by God's grace, a tenacious and ambitious spirit, and a supportive network, I will and I have, and I will always be able to navigate through whatever obstacles or challenges that I face to achieve my goals. As I look around this room and the attendance of the viewers online, my heart is full with gratitude. Between here and online, I have former supervisors, current supervisors, both military and civilian friends, mentors, family who lives here and in Trinidad. I have loved ones from around the world, current and former colleagues, and some really awesome. In my notes, I have really sawsome, which really means super awesome. Professionals that I have met along the way. Some of whom may have known me well before I knew myself, and others who met me at some point along this commissioning journey. It would have been a disservice to not host this ceremony for all of you to witness this milestone in my journey. A few things about me, if you aren't aware, I am always working on something. And I do my very best work in isolation, meaning I stay quiet about many of the things I'm working on until it comes to fruition. This specific achievement has been in the works for about 7 years. I have to admit, this one threw me for a loop. I didn't want to become just any officer. I wanted to become an Air Force Medical Services Corps officer, also known as a Health Services Administrator. It has been quite a roller coaster ride for me. At several points, I was convinced that it was not meant to be, but now I realized it just required me to dig a little bit deeper. I won't bore you with the riveting details of this journey, but I will highlight a few things that have led me to victory. It took multiple attempts for me to fulfill the GMAT requirement, which sucks if any of you have even heard of it. I had to have a minimum score, and I had to take it about 4 times or so, including the retake due to the recruiter, but I digress. When I did apply the first time, I learned that I was not accepted and received this news in the middle of a deployment, which is the worst time you could receive any bad news because you're already serving, right? Bittersweet, but towards the end of the enlistment, I had earned yet another milestone in my career. I had made Master Sergeant. For my brothers and sisters in the armed forces in the other branches, that is an E7. However, with a heavy heart, I turned that down at the last minute to take a chance on myself in the civilian world. I then transitioned to the reserve as an E6 while I attempted to commission. I spent 2 years post-active duty painstakingly working with one bad recruiter after another. If that wasn't bad enough, 2022 to 2024 was the worst part of the experience. My package was halted due to errors by my previous recruiters. This is when I had to dig a little deeper and stay extra quiet. Yes, that's possible. And it was really true to just push through the finish line. Long story short, I went from not being qualified at all to experiencing the shortest time frame to commission that I had heard of, which was about 5 months. With all of that, I just internalized events, both good and bad, and I used it as fuel to keep moving forward, which is second nature for me because what I struggle with is sharing those moments. However, when and if I do, you have all filled my cup with encouragement, kindness, and support, especially when I was in doubt. But it was all worth it. Thank you all for showing up for me today to witness my transition from being an enlisted member to being an officer. All of the obstacles have made me appreciate the journey, the reward, and prepares me for what lies ahead. Now I could confidently say that I am ready to accept the responsibilities. This brings us to the end of the ceremony. For those of you watching online, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all could have been here too. For those of you in this room, there's food behind and tokens of appreciation at the back of the room. Thank you.